All right, guys, so we are here with my man Brad. He is a partner or owner, I guess, of Sarasota Speaks and Speaks Media. We're here and we're going to partner with him. So super excited. Could not be more excited.
I'm stoked.
You guys don't understand how long I've been looking for a studio and a person really to partner with, right? And since he's local out of Sarasota, I've always been super committed to sticking to local people.
Sure.
You know, that's why I'm sponsored by Forge and I'm sponsored by a lot of people in town. And I just could not be more excited, man. I'm very excited. Thank you for having us.
Well, dude, it just worked out perfect because we started training 3 weeks ago, dieting 2 weeks ago. Might have fucked that up a little bit last week in Vegas, but we'll come back, and that's why I'm on the lifestyle side and not the competitive side
tomorrow,
yet. Right?
You know he could do it.
I could do it, right? I just like you, just building, grinding, working. But Speaks Media, Speaks Media is basically just in another iteration of Sarasota Speaks. When we started and launched Sarasota Speaks, obviously the idea was to have a podcast. But just the name itself, Sarasota Speaks, was about more than just our podcast, right? It's about putting Sarasota on the map and hearing the voices of people who, have voices in this community. And when it comes to fitness, I don't think there's a stronger name in town that's doing things the way that you guys are doing. So it was a no-brainer. We started training together. I saw some of the content. I'm like, dude, why don't you guys use the studio? We're launching a couple other podcasts. We'll help you guys get started. We have some of the equipment. You got Dustin to edit as soon as he's mentally fit.
He was a Publix like 10 minutes ago, guys. So we had this plan.
we were supposed to record, and he goes to Publix instead because
he's just tilapia.
Exactly. I needed my tilapia.
Hey, can someone get this man some tilapia, please? But
no sauce.
But yeah, Speaks Media. It's about hearing from others in the community that are doing big things. And getting all those voices out there. So you're reaching a different audience. So we're reaching, and we're excited, man. You're talking about. It's funny because you're talking about. I don't know how big I want to get this, and I don't know this and that, whatever. And we're the same boat. I had Sarasota Speak started because I had lunch with a buddy who was like, dude, we thought about starting this podcast a while back, never did. Would you be interested in doing it? I see a lot of your content. You obviously have some of the video production that, we can bring this to life. I'm like, dude, let's do it because I love Sarasota. I was out of here for like 3 years living in Orlando, and it made me realize how much I love Sarasota. And so, building a name for me in my own backyard and giving back to the community, huge thing. And that's what we do at Sarasota Speaks. We're bringing on guests. We want to have you on the podcast, of course, to talk about warrior aesthetics. And, but I wanted to kind of talk about, one, the vision of Speaks Media, of course, but this is Warrior Talks, and I want to hear about the vision of Warrior Talks. And by the way, the reason why the partnership makes so much sense is because podcasting is like this cool, trendy thing, but it's not easy. It takes discipline and commitment. You got to show up week in and week out, even 100%. When you don't want to, right? And I know that you guys are committed and going to be able to do it, so that's why it made so much sense. But I've seen some of the content already. Looks dope. I love some of the shorts, like the prep talk one you guys are doing. I'm watching that as I'm stuffing my face being a fat ass for a week in Vegas. Like, man, I'm doing way worse than prep hacking right now.
Yeah. I'm eating brownies.
but they had THC in them, so it's
all that shit. So.
For real though, this guy gave me a 50 milligram. I ate the whole thing, and then he's like, "It's 50." I'm like, "Whoa, okay." I'll see you tomorrow then, buddy.
That's funny.
So, what is Warrior Talks though? Tell me about it.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a podcast that I feel like we've been talking about for a year now, and we've just been doing small things out of the garage. Just doing little stuff at home and whatever. Yeah. And to be honest with you, man, like we weren't really fully committed, I think, until you reached out. And you were like, we have this spot, like come use it, right?
For sure.
And now we're at, our brain started spinning and now we're here, So Warrior Talk is pretty much about, two bodybuilders who need somewhere to talk, and obviously we want to bring on, guests that.
You mean back when he gets back to talking again?
When he can talk. When Dustin can talk, we'll take care of him then. But yeah, man, we have just so many people that have so many questions about bodybuilding. People don't know what the hell it is. And we're pretty much in with a lot of the judges, a lot of the big time promoters. So just the amount of, not even just views we can get, but how big it could be. Oh my God. Yeah, like Mel Chancey, I think could definitely come on someday.
Sure.
Holly Beck's out of Sarasota.
But just the amount of insight that we can provide for this type of platform,
no doubt,
and just give that information to the people. And
it's the best way to do it in volume,
exactly.
too.
Like you're saying, there's so many questions that have been asked time and time again that these answers just fall off on the wayside. Or you'll never hear from them again, or whatever the case may be. But we want to bring all that over in one spot.
Dude, I mean, like the guys that you want to get answers from are the guys that are winning shows, and you guys are fucking crushing it. Like,
or the promoters that are having, these big shows, or like the judges. I think having some judges on the show too, where people have so many questions on like how is the judging going to be done, and like there's just so many questions. We need to get the answers.
It's always tough to brag on yourself, right? And that's why like I want to do this format to give you guys the platform to kind of brag on yourselves a little bit and what you've accomplished. With Warrior Aesthetics, I've personally seen it from the outside. I go back from trying to recruit this man. He's selling like, TV subscriptions, and I'm like, bro, yeah, if you need TV subscription, you can still hit him up.
Hit me up.
He doesn't quit anything. Guy's still doing it. But I'm like, bro, why don't you come sell insurance, man? Like, come sell insurance. He's like, nah, dude, I'm just building this business. I'm building this business. I'm doing the personal training. Like, I'm committed to this. I'm like, all right, man, there ain't no money in personal training. Good luck, you know? And then you see it just start to take off a little more, and he's got more clients, more coaches. Yeah. And then all of a sudden there's tons of wins being just stacked up, one after the other, after the other, after the other. So with all that said, I want to give you guys the chance to brag on that a little bit and kind of where you've come from and where you're at now, because you don't often do, like, you're not just going to come on your own podcast and be like, we started this podcast because, I got 20 wins under my belt. My clients, I got 3 pro clients, whatever it is. Like, so do it, bro. Brag on yourself a little bit.
So, I don't really do much bragging, man. That's just how I've been. I think that
it's not bragging if it's facts, Matt.
That's true. You're not wrong. Do we have a lot of wins? Yes. Do we get some pro cards? Yes. But I'm always that person, man, that just works as hard as possible and always thinks he's not. And everyone's been talking about that online, man. And it's 100% true. Like, I could work as hard as possible, but I still think I'm not working enough. Yeah. And I think you could probably say the same thing about yourself, but I think that's what makes us successful. Yeah. It's the same thing as a body. I got a lot of people come to me, like women and men, they have fantastic bodies, but they're so hard on themselves. And it just takes time for you to, like, get that mental fortitude to be like, you know what? No, I have this like body, but it's just not enough. Like, it's not enough. I always want better.
I accept where I'm at. I'm proud of myself from where I'm at, but I know that I can improve more. I know that I can do more.
Exactly. I mean, I do think, humbly saying, I think we definitely have the biggest team that I've honestly, I don't know if I've ever seen. Like, as far as the local presence goes.
Over here, we got the biggest team.
Who else is doing this?
In the state, for sure.
I don't know.
Right?
I mean, easily in the state, right? I mean, you got like Chris Bumstead's line over there, but I just think it's more of like a team atmosphere, right? It's a lot different, right? But again, Chris Bumstead isn't coaching, it just really depends, because in bodybuilding, it's so been an individual sport, and we found a way to bring everyone together in town, and I don't know how it's even happened.
It's huge.
And it's just, things start happening in your life and like in business, and it just starts going up and up and up, and you just kind of roll with it, right? Like, and I'm very humble. So what do you got?
I mean, in terms of
like bragging, man.
Let's go.
Where you guys have come from, man.
I mean, all right. So I guess the story of when I first got here. So I came in here probably like end of 2019, and I was working out over at what was it, Around the Clock Fitness?
Yeah. Maybe Amped at the time.
Yeah,
for
me?
ATC, yeah.
ATC.
It was Around the Clock Fitness, right?
Yeah.
So I was working out over there, and I would see him over there, and I probably just got done with a competition while I was in California or whatnot, and then I went on a long break, but I was looking for a coach. He's always like, hey, man, when you gonna let me coach you? Or some shit. And so, I mean, I knew if I was gonna find a coach, or if I wanted a coach, I wanted somebody that was gonna be local, and I'd probably go to him. But I mean, I did go to maybe one other coach, and then after I did that, I was like, nah, it has to be. So I went to Matt. I told him, look, man, I'm gonna come to you.
It's game time. And if you guys don't know, he was fighting overseas pretty much at that time when he was messaging me. He's like, I'm getting fat, but I'm getting fat for a reason, because I'm coming back and we're winning, right?
Yeah.
And then,
I'm getting fat for a reason.
Whatever excuse you got to give yourself. Man, I'm eating.
I'm eating.
So, I'm eating right now.
He came to me in
MREs.
January. He was an MRE diet, pretty much. He came to me, man, and just to talk about why I'm, partnering with Dustin on this is because, I seen him evolve as a person, not only, just being ex-military, but great family man, and now he's, obviously murdered his first
great
prep.
trainer too.
Great trainer, kicking your ass. Exactly. He turned pro. And now, it's just one thing left. Keeps rolling, man. You just go with the punches.
Why do you think that there aren't, because it does make a lot of sense when you say it, like bodybuilding is an individual sport and you created a huge team, right? Sebastian, before the episode, we're just talking. He's like, dude, I'm like, why would anybody, prep hack and do this dumb shit? He's like, bro, unless you've been to this dark place, like where you don't even like know what's going on, like you wouldn't understand. I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. I probably wouldn't. But like, so you get in that dark place. What do you need around you? A team. right? So
Absolutely.
why do you think it is so individual? I know, obviously it's like golf, right? Like nobody else is hitting that shot for you. Nobody else is hitting those poses on stage for you. You got to put in the work. But like, why is it not evolved into a team, more of a team aspect? And I know there's teams, but like to the size you guys have done it. What do you think the challenge? Where's the difficulty?
Because
I know what I think the answer is.
So we could get to that, but I think it's because that's just how it's always been. To be 100% honest, you look at back in the day with Dorian Yates, Ronnie Coleman, they used to go to these fucking dungeons. There was never Instagram, there was never social media, there was nothing. They would go to the fucking dungeon. They have their best friend maybe, and even like to be honest, like even
Dude, my favorite guy's Kai Green, bro. That guy.
It's the
Talk
absolute
about
savage.
alone,
Dude. Talk about alone. He lived it right in his little fucking 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom little box in New York
10
City.
by 10, bro.
Walked everywhere.
Okay, so that's exactly what I'm saying, and I think that a lot of coaches and a lot of people in this industry have adapted that mindset. So even coaches, they're like, oh, it's so individual. Like just focus on yourself and that. And a lot of people, to be honest with you, bro, a lot of people don't give a shit. Coaches don't fucking care. They're going to charge X amount because they can, because there's no one else doing it. And I'm doing something different. I'm hoping that other coaches see this and see what we're doing. And they understand that, you know, you can't take an hour out of your fucking Sunday to meet people and look at them in person and give them, you know, a clapping hand or a place to talk.
Or in your case, running back
place.
and forth in the fucking audience when
exactly,
you're on
yes.
stage,
And
right?
in that, exactly, bro. You can't beat those moments, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it comes down to passion. I mean, that's what I think. And I think that, you know, again, like we're going to get, you know, Dustin side here on it, but I think we're doing something different and I'm very confident with what we've done in that. So what do you think?
I mean, we're definitely passionate about what we do, and you can see that it's noticeable, you know. And I think not only is it noticeable, but it's fucking contagious.
Yeah.
And people like that shit. And so when they see that, they are attracted to it, and the fact that they are attracted to it wants to bring more people around. And I mean, it's just, again, it's a vibe. It's something that we're bringing to the area that hasn't been seen for a while, and I feel like
But I don't think it's
It
ever
is.
been seen. I mean, I really don't, dude. Like, who else is doing this? You know, who else has a big community like this that the coaches are willing to sacrifice Sunday mornings to go see your body?
Yeah, true.
I've not missed a Sunday morning.
go see your body.
Bro, I would fly in Sunday morning, not lying, and go straight from Sunday morning straight to check-ins because I want Sebastian to win, and I wanted him to get his pro card, and I want all these things, and that's what we're adapting, right? We're adapting that mindset. Like, do or die, man. Find a fucking way. Like,
So
I will find a way.
my thought from the outside looking in, right? And this is like, you know, I have a very minimal experience with bodybuilding. Always trained my whole life, and you know, I love the sport. I used to, you know, be way more into it than I am now. But you know, from the outside looking in, I feel like, and this is in large part, you can ask Eric. This is exactly why I told him this partnership would work, and you guys being on the podcast would work, because egos are not involved, right? And that's, I feel like, one of the significant reasons why you guys have been able to build a big team. Because anytime you build a big team, you got to check your ego, right? Because now it's not just you; it's a whole, you know, it's a whole group of people that are, you know, representing the brand and having opinions and having feelings, and sometimes feelings may be stronger than others because of certain conditions you're in and shit like that, you know? And so you got to be able to check those egos and, you know, remain loyal, right? And so I think, from the outside looking in, bodybuilding is a very egotistical sport, right? Like, there's a lot of egos involved in bodybuilding. And so, you know, you got this pro, you know, on board with this team, and you've got these guys over here that have opinions on how things should be, or even just on the coaching side of things. You've got, you know, one coach thinks you should do things this way, other coach thinks you should do this way, and you know, those egos get involved, and now there's kind of a split amongst the team. And so I think in large part, you guys have been successful. Again, this is just the outside looking in. Probably doesn't carry that much weight, but it's you've checked your egos, you've remained loyal, and that's in collaboration. I say it all the time, collaboration is the new currency. And so the reason why I think the sport can evolve is because we're always going to be better together, right? Like, you go to that dark place, you got a team around you, you're going to be way less likely to fuck up that diet or to do something stupid and cheat this much, because you got a team and you don't want to let that team down, right? Like,
well, that's exactly what it is. And you see that every single day with my competitors, man. Like Natalia, she's pretty much like the team mom, right? Dude, she gets on people's ass, boy, and she just loves it. You know, she just enjoys it. And like, you know, in our clients or our athletes will see the other athlete on cardio and they'll just go walk up and run next to him just to give them something to talk to. And honestly, man, even me prepping, like that happened a few times to me where like an athlete of mine like came up and just started walking with me. You know how much it fucking means when you're doing an hour cardio and somebody just comes up and walks next to you, dude? Just that, because you're counting every single second. But when I'm conversating with Dustin and we're just sitting there just walking, it just makes
Would it be
so
the
much
same
faster.
if I just like stood next to you? Like, yo, man, I'm just going to stand
You don't have to walk if you don't want to,
Don't
bro.
do cardio,
Just
bitch.
It depends on if you're on a treadmill or Stairmaster.
Yeah, just
Well,
come
you're all the way at the end, bro. So, you know, I'm just...
there's no room. There's no room. I'm just going to stand
bring
here.
it over.
Well, I can say, you know, as a member of Team Warrior Aesthetics now, right? For the affiliation has been like 3 weeks. You know, we've trained together. We've talked about training. I've talked to you a bunch, but just meeting some of the team, seeing you guys work. You know, it's been incredible, and it's inspiring for me. This is a lifestyle client, just trying to get in better shape. Why not? You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to dial everything in, fitness being one of those things. Why not? Right.
Well,
and so I'm motivated.
Yeah, it's also one of those things, man. Like you're gonna keep growing. You know, it doesn't matter how big you get. Like if you walk into a room and you look the way you do, people are gonna respect that. Like it 100%, dude.
Oh, 100%.
Dude, people. I walk in the door,
yourself.
people are like, who the fuck is that? Just by the way I look. So imagine like if you don't want to let that go. You know, you're getting too successful and too all that. You have to get your body in order, and that's why I was super happy when you came to me. I'm like, all right, here we go. It's fucking game time.
He's like watching. He's like, I knew I'd get Brad's ass back in shape one of these days.
Oh yeah, and now we're here.
Successful and frumpy.
Yeah,
dude. Come
and
on.
actually, I remember too because pretty much how we kind of met is I was flying 100s, right? Okay. Dude, taking 100s, flying, right?
Right.
And he just looked at me. He's like, "How the fuck is that possible?" Like,
and he was not. He was small at the time. Like he was smaller, you know.
Yeah, flying 100s. But guess what? I did tear my chest off the bone not even a month later, but doing that exact thing, and that sucked. But you know, it made me who I am. But no, man, I'm just super, super blessed to be given this opportunity every single day. Yeah. It doesn't matter how big I get. I'm always going to feel like I'm at the bottom, you know. And I think that's how we've always felt. It doesn't matter how big we get, you know. So I think that's why we're gonna go far. And I think this podcast gives. It's just gonna. I know it's gonna be the biggest for sure.
Well, dude, and I'm stoked just to play a small part. Right, my one of my mentors used to always say, I'm just thankful to play a small part in your huge level of success. I think you as a coach kind of feel the same thing. It's like, you know, when he wins a trophy, you win that trophy, and you feel that. You know what I mean? And you're not taking that away from him. It's not your trophy. It's his trophy. He won, and you played a small part in his huge level of success, and that just makes you feel good, right?
Yeah.
So I'm stoked for that, and you know, I know that you don't know where it's going, but I think I have an idea where it's going, and it's going to be huge, and it's just going to continue to put your name on the map, you know? So Sarasota Speaks and Speaks Media is proud and excited to partner with you guys.
No,
you know? Let's blow this shit up.
Super excited, bro.
We're going to kill this.
All right.
Absolutely.
Let's
That's
get
a
it.
wrap.
Next time, guys, Warrior Talk.
That's a wrap.
Just wait.